I've always preferred quiet places. Maybe it's something about the silence, how it wraps around you like a blanket, a kind of safety. That's what drew me to the row house. It was modest, tucked in a long line of identical homes, each separated by old brick walls barely thicker than a memory. A narrow backyard, creaky stairs, cold basement floors. It wasn't perfect, but it was mine. The kind of place where nothing ever happened, or so I thought. I moved in during winter. The snow softened everything. The nights were long and still. I barely noticed the neighbor at first. His windows were always dark, shades drawn, the porch light forever dead. Sometimes I'd see a flicker of movement, a shadow in the window, a pale face, but it vanished if I looked too long. I told myself I was imagining it. That kind of thing happens when you're alone. But I wasn't imagining the noises. At first, they were small, faint scratches behind the walls, maybe mice. Then came the tapping, soft, deliberate, like fingernails brushing the other side of the drywall. Sometimes it would go on for hours, stopping only when I was about to fall asleep. Then, one night, a low humming started. It was deep, mechanical, like an engine buried underground. I could feel it vibrating through the floorboards. I told myself it was an old furnace or plumbing, but the sound didn't come from my house. It came from him. I met him once, if you can call it that. I was coming home late, the wind biting through my coat. As I turned the corner onto my porch, I saw him standing in the snow between our houses. No coat, barefoot, just standing there, arms limp at his sides, his head tilted in a way that made my stomach turn. He didn't blink, didn't move, just watched. I backed away slowly, not daring to turn around until I was inside with the deadbolt locked. The next morning, there were wet footprints leading from his yard to mine. They stopped at my back door. I bought cameras the next day. Motion sensors, lights. The footage showed nothing. The sensors never triggered. But the noises got worse. That's when I started dreaming. Always the same. I was in my basement, but it wasn't mine. The walls were wrong. Too wide. Too low. The floor was wet, covered in something thick and black. A hole gaped in the dividing wall, and something was watching from the other side. I couldn't see it, not really, but I could feel it. Tall, thin, its limbs too long, its fingers dragging against the bricks like claws. It didn't speak. It didn't need to. Its presence pushed into me like ice water in my veins. I'd wake up screaming, drenched in sweat. The worst part? Every time I had the dream, I'd find something new in my basement. Once, it was a small pile of dirt in the center of the floor. Another time, scratch marks across the wall, deep ones, as if something had been trying to dig through. Then I stopped going to work. That's what they told me, because I don't remember making that choice. I remember waking up in bed, sunlight in the window, but not feeling right. I was cold, too cold. My body felt wrong, like it wasn't mine. My hands wouldn't move, my mouth wouldn't open. I could see the ceiling, hear the creak of the floor above me. Then, darkness. When the police came for the wellness check, they found my front door locked from the inside. Everything was neat. No signs of struggle. Upstairs, it looked like I'd just stepped out for coffee. But the basement was different. They heard the noise before they even got down the stairs. A high-pitched whine, electric and sharp. When they reached the back of the basement, they saw it. Bricks missing from the wall, pulled out like teeth. On the other side, the neighbor was crouched low, blood smeared across his face and chest, soaring through something with slow, methodical movements. It was me, or what was left of me. He had arranged my body in pieces, arms and legs stacked neatly, head tilted like it was listening. My eyes were gone. My mouth had been sewn shut. They said he didn't react when they screamed, just looked up, smiled and whispered. It told me how. When they took him away, he didn't struggle, didn't speak. They found him dead in the holding cell an hour later, hung by his own belt. But that wasn't the part that haunted them, the part they never released to the public, the part one of the responding officers told a friend, who told someone else, who couldn't keep it quiet. There were two figures in the basement that night, the man and something else, something that wasn't caught by body cams. Only one officer saw it, and only for a second. He said it was standing in the corner, hunched, watching. Its limbs scraped the floor. Its face was stretched and pale, eyes like deep wells. He said it smiled at him, wide and wet and impossibly full of teeth. Then it was gone. They found a smear on the wall, black, tar-like. It stank of rot. Every camera in that corner had glitched for 7 seconds. They say the man was schizophrenic, that he imagined everything, that the sounds, the dreams, the whispers were never real. But I know better, because the house is still standing, the basement door is still there, and they never sealed the hole in the wall